Wait, did he roll up to the guy who was in a car crash while he's still in the car? Ain't no way, bro. I mean, that he literally is a kosher car crash. That's what he said. Like, I just never thought I would see it in my lifetime. This kind of like otherizing of Jews as like a non-white part, as like an out group, was definitely something a lot of people shied away from doing. Recession indicator, bro. Straight up. Jews are now at the precipice of no longer being seen as white. Pretty wild. Hasan, distrust in elites is why conspiracy theories replace reliable experts with charlatans? No, for sure. But just as the democratization of media in the form of independent media has created people like myself, has given an opportunity to people like myself to be able to develop audiences and talk about issues that were previously never discussed in mainstream news, whether that be a socialist perspective, whether that be an anti-imperialist perspective, whether that be a perspective that actually is overtly anti-Zionist. It has also obviously opened up a faucet of misinformation, disinformation from charlatans, from people who actually take advantage of this unique media landscape. One of those people, of course, is Tyler Oliveira. Tyler Oliveira, as you guys know, has been a pretty aggressive peddler of racialized agitative propaganda, slopaganda, whatever you want to call it. He's gone after Haitians, claiming that they eat cats and dogs. He was actually he played a formative role in that disinformation environment during the election cycle. Everybody loved him when he did that. Nick Shirley is following his methods, and as you guys know, Nick Shirley played a big role in the Somali fraud story that they call Somalian fraud story. And the Republicans loved him. A lot of conservatives who are also Jewish were big fans of all of the toxic, repulsive ideology that these guys were presenting, this white supremacist stuff that they were putting out there. Now, they loved them. They loved these guys when they were investigating Haitians eating cats and dogs or Somalis doing fraud, but now they go after Jewish enclaves with the same substandard racial agitprop, and everyone that cheered them on are losing their minds. I wonder why. And it's very funny to see people like Joel M. Pelton. I mistakenly believed that Nick Shirley and Tyler Oliveira were very different because Nick was exposing alleged fraud and Tyler was just harassing American Jews with large families legally eligible for benefits. If you can't tell the difference between fraud and harassment, then you've just exposed yourself to be an anti-Semite. I was wrong. Shame on both of you. I never thought the lepers would eat my face. A lot of these guys don't understand. Boomer conservatives, especially of the evangelical Christian Zionist variety, are philo-Semites, okay? They're philo-Semitic, and they're first and foremost, even if they're anti-Semitic, primarily focused on defending Israel. Zoomer conservatives, on the other hand, are Hitler youth, and they have decided that Jews are no longer a part of the white in-group. Okay, it's that simple. This is the major driving force, the major fissure in the Republican Party right now. Tyler Oliveira has decided to move in that direction, in the Gen Z direction, where Jews are no longer a part of the white in-group. They're also on the chopping block. And as a matter of fact, if he goes by the old tradition of fascists, he will probably tie this back to a conspiracy, a grand Jewish conspiracy, because these guys all believe in the Great Replacement, right? The idea that like these cultural forces are, these elite liberal cultural forces are actually bringing in unlimited third world migration into the United States of America in an effort to destabilize the superior Western civilization. Many people believe it. It's actually trafficked by famous conservative Jews such as Mark Levin. Mark Levin was formative in Nicolas Fuentes' development. Nicolas Fuentes himself has revealed that he learned about the Great Replacement from listening to Mark Levin. Just remember that. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because the original Great Replacement theory was concocted by Nazis. And the Nazis kept saying over and over again that this replacement was happening. This liberal degeneracy, this moral rot that was destroying Western civilization was actually carefully conducted by the international Jewry. A lot of conservatives thought that they could get away with the subtle or not so subtle anti-Semitic conspiracy trafficking without having this ever impact American Jews in any meaningful capacity, or more importantly than American Jews, it would never impact Israel. Now that it's actually impacting Israel, now it's a major problem. Because these guys do not care, for the record, about anti-Semitism growing in the country, because they also understand what we understand, which is that there is no systematic exclusion of Jews in the United States of America and in contemporary society in the same way that it exists in like the criminal justice system for black people, for brown people, for Muslims. The systematic discrimination does not exist for Jews in the United States of America right now. It did in the past, and it might in the future, but for the time being, it doesn't exist. It's institutional for these other forms of discrimination, but for anti-Semitism, it is not institutional for the time being. Once again, I repeat, for the time being, it is not institutional. That doesn't mean it might not become institutional again. If the Republicans decide Jews are now written out of the equation, then it will go back to the systemic enforcement, systemic discrimination. Okay? That is the main story that is taking place within the Republican Party. Young Republicans that have an appetite for unlimited edgelordism, unlimited nihilism, have realized that, you know, perhaps Jews are also not a part of the white in-group. Perhaps Jews as a monolithic force have led to the great replacement theories, going back to the old fascist propaganda, the anti-Semitic version of fascism. But while these guys were targeting Muslims and black people and brown people, everybody loved it. Now that they're targeting Jews, the conservative movement is very frustrated. The reason why they're frustrated is not even because they all unilaterally care about anti-Semitism, but they are fearful that this will actually break apart the last unlimited support for Israel crowd. If the young generation of Republicans are anti-Semitic and also anti-Israel, then it's over for Israel because the Democratic Party is already out. They're not anti-Semitic, but they're anti-Israel, especially on the Democratic side. On the Democratic Party side. And it's ironic that a lot of these conversations about like, you know, demands of censorship and the Republicans actually leaning in to Nick Shirley and Tyler Oliveira that then turn around and pounce on them is also feeding into the anti-Semitic conspiracies that Jews control the media. This is literally feeding into it because people see it. Reactionary people look at it and go, why can't I make fun of the Jews? What is this about? Like, I thought it was, you know, no holds barred. I thought we can make fun of everybody. And people on the left also see it. Liberals also see it as well. This is what Sneeko had to say. Nick Shirley makes a video about Somali daycares, gets pushed by the entire Peter Thiel, MAGA cabal, Elon, JD Vance, Rumble, all glazing benevolently. Tyler Oliveira exposes how Jews in Jersey scam taxpayers, harass Goyim, have their own police, hospitals. No one says a word. Now, my position on this, for those of you who don't know, or if you are oblivious to my position on this, is that has fraud existed in Minnesota with Somali people engaging in this fraud? Absolutely. Is there a proper way to investigate this? Yes. Has that investigation taken place? Also, yes. But what Nick Shirley engaged in wasn't a proper investigation whatsoever. What they were doing was taking advantage of an existing court case, an existing investigation, and hours of investigative reporting to do bottom of the barrel racialized propaganda to claim that every single Somali that runs a business is actually engaging in fraud. And everybody loved it when they did this. The same goes for enclaves of Hasidic Jews. If you recall, when Tyler Oliveira did his initial piece on the Orthodox Jewish community in New York City, I talked about pre-existing investigative reporting on the ways in which the Orthodox community takes federal funds or citywide funds and refuses to engage in like proper educational initiatives, right? This is like a real ongoing thing. Does this mean that like, Jews are engaging in this mass conspiracy to defraud the government? No, of course not. But the way that these people present this information, leaning into pre-existing investigations that have been conducted, is by taking it and broadly saying like everyone's doing it. Okay. Did you watch this video? I didn't, but I'm very familiar with Lakewood or Lakeview. Is it Lakeview? Lakewood? The Orthodox community in New Jersey. I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with the Orthodox community in New York. It's just ironic that Nick Shirley also did pro-Israel propaganda only a year ago, and now they're calling him anti-Semitic for responding to Tyler Oliveira, Lakewood, New Jersey. Sorry, not Lakeview. But yeah, this all stems from unleashing these right-wing forces that traffic in conspiracies, that constantly actually engage in like ethnic divisions, constantly present entire ethnicities, non-white ethnicities, as though they are a parasitic force in the United States of America, and now that enmity being directed at Jewish communities.
This is Lakewood, New Jersey, one of the largest Orthodox Jewish communities in America. How large are the families out here?
Anywhere from 6 to 12 children. This is probably 99.9% religious. Basically, this community is allowed to police themselves. Yeah, the trash cans. We have a problem now in Jackson with rats, which we've never had before. They don't want to live amongst us. They don't want to live with us. They just want to live and not have us be part of their lives.
I don't think it was nice how you portrayed the Jewish people.
Are we talking about Curious Joel?
Yes. When you came to Curious Joel, what was the agenda?
There was no agenda. I know what I'd even find.
But there was still an agenda in mind. There's a reason why you came down to Curious Joel, right?
Just trying to learn. What do you actually think I got wrong about it?
I just think there was agenda.
What? Hello. All right. So I'm not sure what the strategy is. How are you doing? I think I'm gonna sue. That honk was promised to him. His kids in there is doing that? As we were trying to escape from the Jews honking at us from all directions, turns out I had summoned the Shomrim police, the Jewish community's internal police force.
We got multiple calls.
Yeah.
I'd say 150 calls about you already.
What are they calling about?
People trying to live a quiet life on here.
Just got a concern saying that you're walking up to people asking them questions, stuff like that.
Luckily, this is America, and that is the First Amendment, right?
So that's it. We're just gonna follow you around. We're gonna let everybody know that you can pay them not to talk to you.
So he made this video. The video is already sitting at like it's an hour long. It's already sitting at 2.2 million views, and the video literally got his Patreon banned. Hasan, I live in New Jersey. I'm very active in the political sphere here. I'm sorry to say that they are in fact defrauding the state. You haven't been here in quite some time, but Lakewood public schools are about to close because of the loopholes they took advantage of on top of using their religion to stomp all over the Pinelands protection. Please don't be easy on them. We're fighting so hard. No. Dude, I think you misunderstood me. I'm not saying there isn't fraud in Lakewood. Okay. Yes, I lived in New Jersey. I know. Just like there is not only fraud, but also a lot of mismanagement of funds in general and a litany of other issues in Curious Joel in New York. Okay, I know. The problem is, just like with the fraud that took place in Minnesota, one thing can be real, and then you can still use a real thing to basically engage in racialized agitative propaganda. My problem is not that there aren't issues and this guy's just like presenting it as such. Like, for example, there's a difference between what Tyler Oliveira did in Springfield, Ohio. Haitians were not eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio. That's just an abject lie. He went in to Springfield, Ohio with a mission to make it seem like the residents were very scared of the Haitian migration happening in Springfield, Ohio, when that wasn't actually the case at all. That's different than, for example, going to Minnesota and like doing an actual investigation into whether or not there was fraud taking place. There was fraud taking place in Minnesota. It was led by a white lady. But of course, the main co-conspirators, the majority of the co-conspirators were from the Somali community. But that doesn't mean all Somalis were engaging in fraud. All Somali businesses are actually fraudulent. You see what I'm saying? The problem that I have with these kinds of outrage merchants is that they come in and they lean into one true component of a story, and instead of doing their due diligence and properly investigating it and uncovering something that people might not have known, or maybe even raising awareness on it, they take a broad stroke to disparage an entire religion, a group of people from an entire religion. That's the issue that I take with this kind of racialized agitative slopaganda. But yeah, Laura Loomer is also losing her mind on it. As I said before, the GOP has a massive Nazi problem. Nick Shirley responds to her, but yeah, I pissed off the little wannabe neo-Nazi. Tyler, weren't you just in India attacking Indians by calling them slingers? So you hate Jews and you hate Indians. Did you know Tucker Carlson's Al pouch is made in India? Are you really going to let them sponsor you? You're such a fraud. So, you know, this kind of sentiment is not going to work if your entire reactionary movement is about being against woke, right? Like these guys that are in the Groyper right also hate Indians too. You can't just like turn around and be woke now about Jewish people, Laura. It's just like, that's not how it works. You played a formative role in pushing this cultural force, this reactionary cultural force, and now it's coming after you. The leopards are eating your face. Asmongold replies and says, did you watch the India video? It's one of the most positive, genuine videos about a native tradition that I've seen. Personally, I think embracing the culture shock of it is more humanizing than pretending they are just like we are. One of Tyler's best videos, in my opinion. Now, I don't think Laura Loomer is ever going to become a woke ally, by the way. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I mean, she's a reactionary monster. She's courted fascists over and over again. She is a fascist. She's a Zionist fascist. And for the longest time, this allegiance was fine, right? But now this allegiance is on shaky ground. And it's not just conservative boomer Jews that are feeling the heat. There are a lot of conservative boomers who are frustrated and worried because this wave of anti-Semitism amongst the younger conservative movement are also going to inevitably demand that America cut ties with Israel. And these guys care about Israel first and foremost. If that's their highest priority, then that's the reason why they're coming out and speaking out against the conspiratorial right. The very same people that were firmly committed to fomenting conspiracies on the right are now coming out and suspiciously complaining about it. And the reason is because they're worried that this will inevitably attack the American interest in Israel. Of course, these guys will come after Hasidic Jews. The right-wing claim about migrants for years has been that they refuse to assimilate and reject our country's values. They've targeted ethnic enclaves for years. It was always a fantasy to believe that that wouldn't extend to Jewish communities, which are fairly insular. A lot of anti-immigrant libels literally originate from anti-Semitic tropes, such as the rootless cosmopolitan. Exactly. Let's take a look at some of the bits and pieces of this video.
Based on your videos.
You don't own this place. You don't own America.
No, you should move on. Nobody wants you here. Please move out.
That anti-Semitism is lucrative, no?
So Pat obviously thought that we should pay for their money, so why don't you move to a different country? So
Why don't you go back to Israel? That would be my question.
I got like
Public safety,
I would say 150 calls about you already.
What are they calling about?
People try to live a quiet life.
You two gentlemen, I saw a video of you walking into 136 Hillside. They asked not
Fair
to
enough.
come back.
Amazing.
If you come back, it'll be a trespassing
So
charge.
you say anti-Semitism, I say anti-Goyism.
The Jewish community is extremely racist.
You have a group of people that call themselves God's people. You are a Semite supremacist.
Elon Musk has 12 kids. Why can't I have 12 kids?
He pays for them. You're arguing that I should pay for your kids.
I'm arguing that the government said.
That's our money. I pay taxes.
This is Lakewood, New Jersey, home to one of the largest and fastest growing Orthodox Jewish communities in America, having anywhere from 6 to 10 kids per family, causing the community's rapid growth to spill into the neighboring towns of Jackson, Toms River, Brick, and Howell, causing non-Jewish residents to fear that their town will soon be turned into Little Jerusalem, just like Lakewood.
The tactics within this community, I would liken it to organized crime.
You were the vice chairman of the Israel Advisory Committee for Donald Trump in 2016. How did you get a relationship with the White House? Who in the White House?
I don't think I don't want to say.
Who are we messing with here right now, Chris? Is this video a mistake, man?
I'm going to be honest. The powers out here are pretty immense.
I ride around Lakewood. There are near Lakewood, outside of Lakewood, and all these towns around Lakewood, there are housing developments.
Like one of the most common ways in which like groypers initially used to do the whole like, oh, they hate the goyim or whatever, was they would take like a blurry camera footage of like a kahanist sitting around and being like, oh, the goy cattle, like we're gonna dominate the goy cattle, and they'd be like, this is what every Jew believes. That's a very classic way to do racial agitprop. Right? It's a very classic way to do it. You look at like an edge case or like a wild supremacist demon and then say, this is how the entire minority population believes. It's a classic example. I mean, they do it. This is, if you're black, you're probably very aware of how this is done. You know, if you're trans, you've seen it, you've experienced it. This is what they're doing, but now they're doing it to Jews.
As the Orthodox Jewish community consolidated political power in Lakewood, taking majority control of the township committee, planning board, zoning board, and school board, financially depleting the public school system for non-Jewish kids, overwhelming local infrastructure, and turning a once quiet town into a densely populated, over-trafficked Jewish enclave prioritizing Jews over non-Jews. Before I investigate the Jewish takeover of Lakewood and of the nearby town of Jackson, I first want to visit the town where the blueprint was born, Muncie, New York. When did you notice Muncie begin to form as a Hasidic Jewish enclave?
I would say 20 years ago, I saw the first start of it, and then every year, it just started to grow exponentially.
Hey! It's me. How are you? Stop what?
They on Tyler. Yo, they on Tyler.
Stop. But the Jews here were not happy to see me after I asked how they afford 7 to 10 kids on a single income and if they were on welfare in Kiryas Joel. How many kids do most people have out here?
17, 18.
How do they afford 17, 18 kids?
They are proud to do what the Torah says, that you need to be multiple and fruitful.
How do you afford to study the Torah, though?
God help me.
Does the American taxpayer help you too?
Also, yes.
How do people afford to have such big families out here?
It's... I'm not saying anything.
Are you Tyler?
I'm Tyler.
Are you trying to do another anti-Semitism video?
How did I spread anti-Semitism? That's crazy you said that. Life circumstance, different culture. So this is their way of, like, listen, I know you're frustrated about what some of the things we focused on. Is that kind of what I'm...
Bro, this is literally like going to a Mormon enclave and just being like, well, you know how all Christians are. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. You know how Christians are, getting up to their Christian initiatives again.
Getting at? Sure. So give me some examples of how things were misconstrued. Yeah, what did I get that was wrong?
So it's not necessarily misconstrued. Well, it is misconstrued. There's a lot of it that's, you'll cut a lot of it, cut out different words, make it sound a lot worse than it is. There's a lot of people here that are on welfare. A lot of people are in Section 8. A lot of people that are on a bunch of different WIC, food stamps, stuff like that.
Sure.
If you go to any low-income communities, you're going to see that. They're all going to be on the different welfares.
Okay, so they were on welfare.
Yeah,
okay.
No bit of denying that.
Okay.
But again, it's the way you say it, it's the way you twist it, the way you...
How did I twist it?
Not twist it, again,
How
twist it's the wrong word.
I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from.
Growing up in an extremely... Dude, go.
Ah, the insufferable hug. See, you say I misrepresent, and then they do that, like, come on.
I'm not saying they're all good people. It's like I said, wherever you go, there's going to be the idiots. There's always going to be the assholes wherever you go.
I totally get it.
You talk about the community. It feels like you're trying to create a narrative that you did not find. You found people that are on welfare that have a lot of kids, but your headline did wrote welfare addicted Jews.
What is your frustration? I'm curious. Welfare dependent, welfare reliant, welfare addicted. What's the difference? Tell me. They need it to survive, and without it, they die. What is the difference?
It's addictive to bait click. That's an addiction.
That's an addiction?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you addicted to being a victim or what?
No.
The Goyim were grateful someone was finally bringing up their town's issues.
I show you. They take all my money, these people.
You think they take the money?
Good, man.
Bienvenidos a Monsiland con mi amigo.
Dude, pinning other minority groups against one another. This has got it all. This has got it all, baby. This is expertise in right-wing slop, right-wing racialized propaganda. Looking at an edge case or systemic problems that exist in one community to say, like, all of these members of that marginalized background are engaging in it, creating plausible deniability, making it seem like it's a Jew-specific problem too. That's another one. It's got it all.
All right, see you, bro. How do you like living here as a non-Jew?
So-so. Well, I don't
what
like
do you mean by so-so?
Because they're ascetics.
Do they treat you as one of them? Like,
no,
are you guys on the same page?
No. They don't bother me because I don't deal with them.
Okay. Do you think there is large-scale welfare fraud out here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a lot. They get away with everything. They get the Section 8, they get everything, the free housing and, you know.
Do you think most people work out here in the Hasidic community?
No.
How do they afford their bills?
I wish I knew. I would do the same thing, too.
Bro, it's the same. Bro, it's the same method. It's the same method. Get like the locals, the on the group to say like this is a, you know, everybody hates them, all this. It's literally a one-to-one copy of the Somali thing, if not a more pervasive problem.
And what are your thoughts on the driving out here? I gotta ask you that. It's the most important question.
I don't want to talk about it.
The driving is crazy.
Okay.
You got a stop sign over there, they don't even stop. They just pass, you know. That's why so much traffic and accidents, and it's crazy.
You saw the Curious Joel video. Why was that video good?
That video was good because I've been in East Ramapo for as long as I remember. I also went to Spring Valley High School. I've been in the school system, and we've definitely seen a lot of things, especially since our school board was majority private school owners, you know, mainly Jewish white men, and most of our school was not Jewish, and they had control over our public school system over like the past 10 years, purposely voting no on our school budget vote so that way we would fail, and we lost about 3-2 schools.
Basically, through block voting, Orthodox Jews won enough seats to control the East Ramapo school board and went on to eliminate hundreds.
I'm losing it. Bro, class issue presented as a racialized problem. Once again, literally a pervasive problem with private schooling in every part of the country. Every part of the country. This should be taught in schools as a way to dilute class-related issues to very effectively turn it into some reactionary bullshit. This is literally like This video is the clearest example of anti-Semitism is the socialism of fools narrative. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's like a perfect example of it. It's mind-boggling. This is also part of the reason why I yell about anti-Semitism in general. Okay, the Hasids aren't acting this way because of class. No, chatter with your own personal involvement with Hasidic communities and your anger coming out here, okay, that people probably don't know. Before people say, he's being anti-Semitic, that chatter is Jewish. The organizational principle or the sense of community around Hasidic Jews is utterly immaterial because this problem persists in literally every American neighborhood where there are Christian schools as well. My argument is this is a pervasive problem in the United States of America, everywhere else. Just because these guys have been able to organize around a community, organize around like being Hasidic Jews in one neighborhood, doesn't change the fundamental problem here, which is allowing private schools to suck up state subsidies and destroy public schools in the neighborhood. You think this is just a Lakewood problem? No, a version of this exists everywhere.
Hundreds of public school positions like teachers and social workers, while approving millions of taxpayer dollars to be spent on their children's religious private schools, ultimately gutting the public school system for the estimated 9,000 black and brown public school students, while diverting that money to their private religious schools.
They give us food that's rotten and it's cold, and it hurts our stomach.
I ask you, do not take our music program away. I love playing an instrument. My brother would be crushed.
And the budget cuts were so devastating that in one instance, an elementary school shut down, and the majority Jewish school board then voted to sell it to a Jewish yeshiva for pennies on the dollar. Basically, the poorest, most vulnerable kids in these communities had their schools gutted and looted, all by a majority Jewish school board whose kids didn't even attend public school.
We believe that some of the decisions that have been made by the board have not been in the best interest of the public school community.
You don't like it? Find yourself another place to live.
How was your education?
My education, it was decent, but it definitely could have been better if we had the resources that we were.
Bro, you think this guy gives a f about education? Public education, let alone education for black and brown children? I'm sorry. You are the biggest sucker on the planet. No, he's just pitting one marginalized community against Jews. That's it. That's it. That's what he's doing.
Allowed to have,
don't be an idiot.
For the past 10, 15 years or so, people have been purposely voting no on our school budget vote, so that way we had no funding and money for our school. And, you know, that was done purposely.
And who was voting no?
Majority, the Jewish community. You, like, drive around here, you'll literally see signs saying vote no for our school budget, which I think is crazy. Luckily, we were able to get a ward system to be able to get 3 seats for, you know, the wards, but if it wasn't for that, we still would be majority white Jewish men voting for public school students that they don't care about.
I want to thank you for showing our community. I don't believe in hiding. I believe we have a tremendous amount to be proud of, and like every community, we're different. We have our goods. Other communities have their positives.
Tell me about what are some of the best things about this community then.
Tonight at sundown, we shut our phones, we shut our cars,
Okay.
we go to shul. The most beautiful part of our religion, do you understand that Orthodox Jews can be anywhere? The sun is coming down and it's the last opportunity to pray what's called mincha, which is afternoon services. They could be in the most important meetings and they'll go pray. And they could care less about anything happening. The same things with Shabbos. We come home, our families are waiting. We sing Shalom Aleichem. We welcome in the Shabbos, and you'll say back Aleichem Shalom, right?
Could they feed 10 kids
Yes.
without those programs?
I am one of 10 children.
You're
My
driving
father-
a G-Wagon.
Like people, bro. People who say like, oh, well, they're not organizing around the boundaries of class here. You think the Hasidic Jews are doing this because they're, because they're aware of their class position? Yeah, just like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not a religious conflict, but a conflict surrounding the dispossession of the indigenous population at the behest of a fascist ideology that still ultimately engages in war for material extraction. This is no different in that regard as well. Don't be suckered in to the argument that they're presenting to you. It's ridiculous. This very same issue persists all across the country, in Christian enclaves, in Jewish enclaves. It might even in some way, shape, or form exist in Muslim enclaves. It's a problem with the way public school funds are allocated back to private institutions. These guys are just utilizing what was initially set up probably for Christians to their own advantage in the United States of America. But the results are still the same. Charter schools and private schools that suck up the funds away from public schools.
Bro.
My father was never on any welfare. I used to reuse sandwich bags to save my father a penny.
That's great for you.
You're not welcome here, and you're not welcome in a lot of other places based on your video.
What about me, though?
I love you, man.
Ah!
You are funny.
You don't own this place. You don't own America. I can do whatever I want.
Whatever you
Get
want.
in your G-Wagon, get to work.
You're not trying to bring people together. You never did, you never will. It's who you are. Somebody hurt you deeply, and I'm sorry.
He was right. Someone did hurt me. Whoever told my sponsors to pull out after making one video exploring a community of welfare-addicted Jews. If you want to help me avoid ending up on welfare too, and get access to all of these videos early, and watch never-before-seen content I can't upload on YouTube, go subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/Tyler.
Bro, he's a freak.
I headed to Lakewood, New Jersey, one of the fastest-growing Orthodox.
And he got banned on Patreon too. This ushers in hate on black community while attempting to cover up phony care for us with the other hand. Yes, bro. This is how reactionary propaganda works. This is how it works. This is how it's always worked. Just like the whole like anti-affirmative action initiatives obviously failed for the longest time with white students consistently claiming that they were being victimized, so they went back and they got a bunch of Asian students.
Jewish communities in America where a similar Jewish takeover has taken place, leading to the gutting of the public school system, all while turning a predominantly working class Irish and Italian town into Little Jerusalem.
I'm trying to merge a gap to see if there's any way that we could actually be one community. Because as you can tell, it's two separate communities. Look around. You will not see a non-Jewish resident here.
We got the Yiddish bus.
This is really all Jewish stores.
Sure.
Now, that pizza place, it's going to be kosher pizza, probably.
A lot of these signs are written in Yiddish, and everything's insulated. Basically, you come here to this plaza, get everything you need.
Like, what? Who gives a f? They do this to Muslims too, like halal. Who cares? Oh, no, dude. Kosher pizza. Where my country gone? They're taking over, brother. That part is dumb as f.
Quite convenient, quite nice.
Now, everyone can shop here. Of course, we could go in and they'll be friendly, but everything's geared towards one community. But yeah,
and is it always this way? This part here, is this newly developed in the last?
Oh yeah, so this used to be a concrete yard.
Got it.
So we're almost where we're standing used to have rows of concrete trucks.
Sure. It's bustling. Busy. Now, this place was packed with Jews buying groceries for Shabbos, but keep in mind, Goyim are fully allowed to come in here and shop whenever they please.
They're very friendly. I don't think anybody's going to be nasty to us. Is a lot of the fear bullshit warranted? Definitely not. Definitely not.
What?
But I do think they don't feel comfortable enough to do it.
But it's important to understand the bigger picture here. As kosher stores move in, more Jews move.
Dog, it's literally like going to an Italian deli and being like, oh, these guys hate you for not being Italian. Except don't be fooled, they're very nice. Make sure you understand, it's their wily ways, the wily, cunning ways of the Italian that tells you, that welcomes you into the deli, says, Mamma Mia. But deep down inside, there's a hidden truth. They hate you. They want you to be cattle. It's just a grocery store, man.
Here too, creating a positive feedback loop where a town rapidly becomes a Jewish hub, ultimately changing the character and identity of a town, and in Lakewood's case, overwhelming the infrastructure. Before we explore the many implications of life for Goyim as towns like Lakewood become increasingly Jewish, I want you to understand how quickly the word anti-Semitism gets weaponized in real time out here.
Tyler, it seems like you discovered that anti-Semitism is lucrative, no?
Why do you think anything that you don't like to see is anti-Semitism? What have I said that's anti-Semitic? Go.
When you talk about people accepting government money, and the overlay is a bunch of pictures of fraud, you're trying to twist it to make it look like we're doing fraud.
There were welfare programs that were defrauded by Jews. What did I say that was a lie?
There are welfare programs that are defrauded by
Yes,
everybody.
and I made a Minneapolis video as well. I've made several videos. Why are you being so sensitive?
What you're trying to make it sound is like anyone who accepts government money in the Jewish community is doing fraud.
That's your interpretation.
What you're doing is dangerous.
How is this dangerous? Why should you be treated like a protected group? You're asking for special privileges.
No, we're not. We're asking just to be fair, and you're not being fair.
I am being fair.
This is going to make you a lot of money, and it's going to gin up a lot of hatred towards the community that's seeing a rise in anti-Semitism that hasn't been seen in years. Every single day, our lives are at risk, and this is going to lead to more.
My sponsor literally got pulled out of the video once they learned the topic of that video. I lost the sponsorship. How is that lucrative? Tell me. So you say anti-Semitism, I say anti-Goyism. Listen, man, you got a kid in the car, I just noticed. Drive your kid home, get your groceries. You're getting honked at. Let's go. It was good to meet you, though.
Come. You want to come to the corner?
Where? Over there? Let's go move. Let's go.
You know, I know what you did in the video, and we all saw it, and we still see it. But it's like,
What did I get wrong?
nobody can cross the government. The government knows everything. The United States federal government knows everything.
Not if you're fraudulently found.
No, it's not true. That if you feel that you live in a country that is corrupt,
I do.
Why are you still living here?
Well,
this is why no matter how isolated or insular an ethnic enclave you can have, you still 100% become a Jerseyan. Look at this motherfucker. He's basically Italian. You take the yarmulke off and you're like, oh, that's an Italian guy. That's an Italian guy. And I'm seeing like a hint of an accent. I can't really recall what it is. I mean, he's even wearing the kippah to the side, bro. He's like, yeah, like a Yankee with no brim, right? But Jewish style. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, come over here. Come over here. Let me talk to yous. Let me talk to yous. Hey, what you doing with these Jews I don't like? All right, come on. Brimless is too crazy. Yeah, bro. Sideways too.
Stuff 15, 20 countries off the bat. You can live.
Yeah, regardless, let's say America is corrupt. I still want to live here.
You understand?
Oh, but hold on. Just because there is corruption here, which there is.
There is no.
What are you talking about? Let's not be silly here.
If there would be corruption, the FBI would love to come here first than any other location in the world.
Come on, that's not true.
Okay. I don't know if that's the best argument. I'm sorry. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the American government and the FBI they have maximum anti-Semitism. They would love to come in here. It's just chuds on all sides. No, literally, it's perfect. It's chud on chud violence. Oh.
Well, I read the numbers in Minnesota.
22 people indicted for Medicaid.
Numbers in Minnesota. And listen, you can attack them as much as you want. What they did, that's big numbers, man.
Both of your schools had money laundering. You had people. Yes, both.
There's 45 schools here.
So BMG had people that were.
Bro, look at them. Like they're brothers. All men are brothers, bro. This guy and the other guy. I mean, he's wearing the brimless. He's wearing the one with the brim. You know what I mean? You got different Los Pollos variants out in the wild, arguing with one another, sounding exactly like Los Pollos.
Were charged with money laundering, and so did the school for special.
As of when?
2019, 2018, 2017. Look it up. It's all over Google.
I don't look it up. You got to show it to me.
Come on.
Nah, don't look it up. You got to show it to me. Oh, it's awesome.
85% of people in this vicinity between these 4 or 5 zip codes work very hard.
Yeah.
So if you want to go and dig in a place like here, Lakewood, where the same capital you're going to find in this small percentage.
You're making me want to dig now. You're making me want to look.
You're already digging, man. You're digging already for
I'm at Whole Foods.
4
What
months.
are you talking about? 4 months?
What do you mean? Go break your head. You can keep on breaking your head.
I will break my head.
No problem. Eventually, when you break your head too much, you end up digging water. When you dig water, there's nothing under it.
You were in Jackson, which is really like a continuation of Lakewood. By the way, I don't know if you know how I toppled the government there. They had all these anti-Semitic laws. It was crazy. I had 2 conversations with the White House, and eventually DOJ got involved. But anyway, so I don't know. Are you already doing your Lakewood thing?
I'm here with Dr. Richard Roberts. You sold a pharmaceutical company for $800 million. You were the vice chairman of the Israel Advisory Committee for Donald Trump in 2016.
Yes.
And you reached out to me. Why did you reach out to me via email?
Because you posted that, first of all, you did your video, Curious Yoel in New York, and got a lot of Orthodox Jews very, very upset.
But why did you reach out to me?
But towards the end of the video, you saw the altruism in the community, and you seemed to respect that. And since I could see that you seemed to me to have a sincere desire to actually get the real facts, because if you were just bigoted against us, you wouldn't be struck or commenting on the altruism in our community.
But you casually toppled the Jackson government. A, what does that mean? B, how did you get a relationship with the White House?
I never spoke to DOJ. I did speak to people in the White House twice to tell them what was going on, because...
Who in the White House?
I think I don't want to say.
You think this guy got the access because he's Jewish? He might have used friends that he knows, but if you're a random Orthodox Jew and you live in Section 8 housing, you think you're getting access to the White House? Or do you think the fact that he's a billionaire has something to do with it? This is the filter. This is, by the way, Tyler Oliveira is far more sophisticated than Nick Shirley, which isn't saying much, but he is far more sophisticated than Nick Shirley in the way that he does the propaganda. But it's still a filter. Ask yourself that question. You think a random broke boy Orthodox Jew gets to have their needs met? Or do you think that this still has a lot to do with your class position?
First off, though, so you mentioned Jackson's a continuation of Lakewood. You toppled the governments. You went to the White House willy-nilly.
Called.
Okay. You're connected to the White House.
By the way, I rarely leave my house.
Which just goes to show the scale of your connections, in my opinion. I hear this voice from him, I'm like, shiver me timbers, who am I dealing with a little bit here, right? Like, this guy's...
Little old
my,
me.
all right, so he's calm. And you might be wondering, why are mega wealthy Jewish power brokers connected to Donald Trump trying to set the record straight with a lowly goy tuber like myself? This all begs the question, why are they so afraid of me?
I think that they just don't want you to portray Lakewood in a bad way. That's really all it is.
Is there any bad to see?
There's bad to see everywhere. It's good to see everywhere.
Exactly. Good, bad, and the ugly everywhere, right?
100%. I used to live here in Lakewood when I was in 9th and 10th grade. I love Lakewood. There's so much Jewish life here. It's so easy to be Jewish, and everything's cheaper. It's amazing here.
Why did Lakewood become such a large Jewish hub?
So I think it started with BMG, Beis Medrash Gavoa, and then you had a lot. You know BMG?
Yeah. Tell me more about BMG, though, right? I hear it's like the Harvard of yeshivas.
Yes, it's top notch. You just sit and learn all day. You already finished your high school phase. Most people went to Israel already, came back, and they just sit and learn all the time. It's amazing. I used to do it when I was a teenager. Lakewood's an amazing place and everything, and I think I've seen your videos all over. I just think that people get nervous and stuff like that, but you're just coming here filming the truth, and you're working just like we are. That's it. We're all in the same boat.
What should we know about Lakewood?
It's a great place. You're always welcome here.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we've got, it's welcoming for the most part. A few guys are fired up. We try to give them the chance to speak, have a conversation. Do a little psst.
Okay, man.
What whisper did we miss?
Nothing. I gotta go now. But
yeah. I love it. To a T. A guy gets a whisper, then he goes quiet. Would you like to say anything? How you doing?
You don't like it, huh?
With this guy whispering in his brethren's ears. He comes up when they're talkative and sweet, and he goes,
Take her out, take her out.
Psst, psst, and then they stop talking. It is miraculous. Tyler, good to meet you. What's your name?
If I say something good, you're gonna put it on?
Let's go. We just met up with the guy. He was like pissed off that we like come around here and explore. This guy's killing me, dude. The psst, psst. He's treating you like a...
Just a reminder, this town is a 70% Trump voting town. Oh yeah, no. Like high density hogs, okay? Very high density of hogs here. That's why it's so funny. That's part of the reason why people are so mad on the conservative side, because these are Trump voters. Like this is part of the base. Like he's going after the bread and butter. He's going after the MAGA base.
Child. The whole world's gonna laugh so nice. I know.
This is pathetic. He's treating you like a child. Who is this guy?
Why are you guys being told what to say?
Let the man speak. Okay, does that not look like suspicious activity?
Why is there so much secrecy if you have nothing to hide?
Why would he do that? He's the head whisperer. All right, tell me what you're going to say.
How much money everyone makes in this town? Crazy amount.
What?
The police is also going to follow us, just FYI.
They're going to follow us.
There's a police special response unit, and the cops had their internal monologue that they're going to just trail us around.
Amazing. So given that the cops are being called so often, they're just going to follow us around all day. Land of the free, home of the brave. And then I stumbled upon a kosher collision. Another example of Lakewood's infamously terrible driving. We were just showing how densely trafficked it is out here, how much traffic there is. We wanted to show some of the driving differences out here.
I don't think you're saying a fair statement. This has nothing to do with dense driving.
Oh, what does it have to do with bad driving skills? Or
wait, did he roll up to the guy who was in a car crash while he's still in the car? Ain't no way, bro. I mean, that he literally is a kosher car crash. That's what he said. Like I just never thought I would see it in my lifetime. This kind of like otherizing of Jews as like a non-white part, as like an out group, was definitely something a lot of people shied away from doing. They did not do, like, he's treating Jewish people like they are black or brown or Muslim. Like, you do this kind of shit to Muslims, everybody loves it. They're like, oh my God, more of this, please. It's crazy. Recession indicator, bro. Straight up. Jews are now at the precipice of no longer being seen as white. Pretty wild. Because like, oh, they're driving Jewishly, you know? That's literally when you become a marginalized identity, when you become like not a part of the in-group, that's what they do. They're like, oh, well, everything you do is wrong. Everything you do, or anyone from your group engages in anything, any crime or you know, any altercation, now that is the responsibility of the entire group, right?
fair.
It was a miscommunication. But
That's fair.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. There were actually no one on the road when this happened.
Totally fair, okay. You need help getting pushed? All right.
Like, he's literally in the car crash. He rolled up to a car crash with the camera and was like, "What's up? You driving kosher style?" That's crazy.
Why are you making up a story? Because you need a documentary. There was not one car in sight by accident.
Oh, you just hit the wall.
That's it.
You didn't hit anyone?
No.
Do you need help getting pushed? Okay, we're gonna get out of here. Oh, you're good. Different than anyone else.
You need a job.
I agree.
You need a job?
No, I mean, I'm employed. I employ a lot of people, actually.
Yeah, you make money for doing nothing.
For doing nothing? Do you think moving capital and charging interest is something more valuable than I do, or what?
What?
Moving capital and charging interest? Really, Tyler? Oh, really? I didn't realize you were such a socialist, Tyler. Like, this is what I mean. The first half of the video was like, look at these poor black and brown students that are having their public school fundings eroded, destroyed. Oh, I didn't realize you were a brave education advocate for marginalized communities from the 800 different videos you've done of like, this black town is doing black style crimes, the urbanest of urban crimes in this urban town where urban style individuals are doing all the drugs you've ever seen, and they're doing the drugs because they hate going to school, only to then turn around and be like, well, you know, these poor marginalized communities, these black and brown communities are having their resources stripped away by these Jews. Kosher style. Classic pitting of different marginalized identities. He just straight up went up to this dude and was like, oh, you think moving money around is actually, you think engaging in usury and moving money around is real work? Are you a socialist? Are you an anti-capitalist? No? Why the fuck are you bringing this up? Yeah, moving money around Jewish style is crazy.
I think you should write about
Tell me.
the hundreds of thousands of people that do favors to people every day.
Tell me more.
Open up a book. You never saw so many charity organizations as you have here in Lakewood.
I know there's so many 501c3s, it makes me wonder. Are they all charitable? Are they fiending for tax exemptions? You know, would you say?
Oh, you activated his trap card, bro. You shouldn't have said charitable contributions. Oh no! Now he's gonna do the cars for kids.
A great place to move to for a young family. If I have a kid or a wife, a young wife. Okay. Not just the Jews.
My best friends are going.
Okay, respect. What do we have here? We have a. Hey, it's good to meet you.
You see that?
I saw it. What is the name of that organization once again? Hatzolah. Okay, good to meet you, man. See you later. And we have Hatzolah up here to help the community. Yeah, this guy doesn't even know what the First Amendment is.
We're busy with the knives.
Don't be a joker, bro. Come on. Yeah. Yes. Come over here. Come over here. All right. I need to get you like a second number. Son. What's your Instagram? You got Facebook?
No, I don't have.
Tyler, Look at these hundreds. My phone number's been leaked.
You're a little child. Give me a number. I promise you.
Why are you insulting?
I'm not insulting.
You just insulted.
Come on, I'm a little child.
So give me a number. I promise you I'll make it worth it for you.
All right, look, give me your email. Give me your email. Give me your emaal.
732. Give you my number.
All right, hold on. And what was your first name?
Moshe.
We're gonna do some big stuff.
You're afraid, I think.
I don't even know what's going on. Oh man, these guys are next level. I feel like I got dropped off on an alien planet. And you might be wondering, what is Hatzolah and how are they able to blast through red lights like that?
That's crazy. I didn't realize that. I know that there's like Hatzolah, there's like ambulance and stuff, like Orthodox emergency services. I didn't realize they have. Was that like a cop car? That's a little crazy.
It's like a community watch, but they think they are cops. If you notice, they had their lights on and they just ran a red light, just like a police officer would do. No uniform. They had the Jewish.
No, they don't have cops. They have private ambulance services, which is normal. I don't know how it is in other states, but in the state of New Jersey, I mean, in most American states, actually, the EMT services are private. There is the Hatzolah is like the Orthodox community's own like private EMTs.
Uniform on, white pants and the curls.
In a police car is what it looked like, but he's not a police officer, and he's blasting through the lights like he is a cop. There's a Hatzolah billboard right there, Mike. And what is that for?
I mean, you're asking me questions.
Why is he making it seem like this is like a unique thing? Yeah, bro, it's a private ambulance service. Like, it's a private EMT service that Jewish communities have. I don't
know if I have the answers to why, because once again, because there's competing Hatzolah. You have competing groups of these.
Of a non-profit.
Wait, what is this? When words aren't enough. Rebmeyer.org. 1,000 words.
Volunteer
Wait, what is
emergency service?
Yes. It
What is
sounds
that?
like a business, right?
But literally every...
No way, dude. Private healthcare has yielded private healthcare services? That's crazy. Again, if you're not a socialist, or if you haven't ever advocated for making these services public, I don't want to hear from you. And even in a private structure, there's totally appropriate religious exemptions that you can make, like for Muslims or for Jews in general, if they have like different religious practices. Yeah, Hatzolah is free and they don't care if you're Jewish. Mind reading my last message? I grew up in this community. Yeah, it's just, this is just basically a Jew baiting, okay? It's literally just like, well, they're doing private ambulance services, but Jewish style. Isn't that strange? Like, that stuff is like, this is what I mean when I say, like, they went to a grocery store and they're like, well, this is a grocery store for Jews. It's fine if you're you know, not Jewish. If you're Gentile, you can still purchase goods here, but you know, don't let their politeness fool you. They want to make you cattle. Like, come on, man. Do you understand what I mean, by the way? As far as like, as far as like taking away funds from public schools and then reappropriating those funds to like private schools, private Jewish schools specifically, that's a commonplace practice that happens in this country. We need to tackle it. Okay. But it's not something that we need to tackle on the, you know, ethnic boundaries of Judaism. It's something that we need to tackle at the systemic level across the board. There's plenty of Christian schools that do it. There's plenty of Mormon groups that do this shit as well. It's all done ultimately at the behest of capital and in a way to undermine teachers unions that are some of the strongest unions that we have remaining in this country. Catholics do it too. They all do it. Everybody does it. Muslims, I'm sure, do it in a certain Muslims do it too, probably.